What's up, Jay? How you been, bro?
Man, I've been great.
How was y'all fourth? How was your fourth?
Man, the fourth was dope.
Dope. Let me tell you something. The Meta Pop contest,
Yeah.
or competition, or
Producer challenge was the official word.
exactly. It was pretty dope. There was a girl up there that was super dope. I forgot her name.
Miss Brand.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
There's some backstory on her.
Yeah, she hit me up. You got in touch with her?
Yeah, I already know. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was with Justin back. Yo, it goes to show you. She was with us, I think, I don't know if it's a 2020 experience.
Yeah.
But Miss Bryn been around and been doing her thing for a minute. And now look at her sound. Look at what she accomplished. Look at what pressing on perseverance does. Cause I went back to the beat. I'm like, yo, this beat is amazing. And you can hear the seasoning in her work, so, the more time people put into their music, the better you just become, man. Like, it shows, man, like, anything you do, when I was on my vacation, I read a lot of books, and sitting by the ocean and really reflecting on greatness and destiny and purpose. And I feel like young people of today, there's really no age. It's just like we want things so we put a time limit on it. And God don't go by time. You know what I'm saying? Time don't exist in his frame. It happens on God's time. That's why he said God's time. But in earthly time, a year could be like, man, I'm tired of this. Matter of fact, this has been a year since we've been on.
Yeah.
It's about to be a year. So, just time itself. Perfecting something could take some people 2 years. I think that's the problem with the world. We look at others and compare our time on how we should be based on what we see somebody else. And that's not how life works. You know what I'm saying? Like when you working on a craft and you trying to perfect the craft, time the people would know, because the time that you put in, it would just prevail. And you're not gonna know when it happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, prime example is just like when you look at every rapper, right? Let's take Lil Durk. Lil Durk been doing it for a minute, but he couldn't predict the moment he was going to get hot. He just put in that time, perfected the craft, rolled the trial out, and now he's that hot dude. And it just comes out of nowhere. But it comes with not giving up. You cannot give up, man. Like, you got to stay on the track. Whatever you do, you can get frustrated and sit down, but sit down on the track and get your ass up. Keep walking that track and keep doing it. Because when you love something, you gonna hear the difference. And then when you go back and be like, man, it wasn't right back then, but now it's right. And you get some people that are like meta humans. And when I say that, meaning like some people know their path when they are born. Like some people know, like at the age of 12 or 15, and they can see their destiny. Not saying they don't have trials, but they see their destiny. And to me, I feel like Jay-Z was one of those people. But like Nas is one of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the great ones from our time, I feel like Biggie, even though it's not here, I feel like they completed assignment that was needed to be completed. Them and Biggie and Tupac, but their assignment that they completed within 24 years of their life, yo, that's crazy. Like, they gave us a book of how rap was going to change the world after them. They started the revolution of changing the world, and life ended. But maybe the assignment was over. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know God's time and how he thinks and how he moves. So it's just like some people just destined to know who they are. Like I was saying, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac. I feel like those guys, like when you look at Jay, like I feel like once he knew, and he actually said it in the song, me and Destiny got a date. Like he knew. And I think he knew from after Reasonable Doubt. And from there, how his life progressed upward, he saw the map on how it should go. It's like Ready Player One. When the guy knew, he said, man, there's something. He looked at life like Ready Player One when the guy first won the first key. How he viewed, he said something missing. And so he said, oh, it's like he had the map all drawn out to like how his life was going to be after a certain point. Like now look at Jay, I'm like, damn, he knew Kanye was special. Like he saw certain, it's like he know certain things that I was like, damn, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? You can see the steps along the way. And some people have that gift. But my point is, you can't compare yourself to metahumans or those guys that just are like that. That's why you have the Elon Musk. And I said they're brilliantly smart in school, but just certain things that they are smart and they have a gift at, they just see the world different than what people see it. And how they see it just makes more sense, and they know how to articulate it to the world to make them be like, well, I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, you know, those are special ones, but everybody's special. You know, you just got to stay on your track, and you got to be special in what you think you are, and what you are great at. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was on case just read some. You know, I still like I got into audio books. I think I read like 3 books, right? Like in every day, like sitting on the beach, and I was like, yo, you can always be better. You can always be more focused. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things I'm like, yo, certain things I gotta complete. Like I feel like I could be greater than what I am today. You know, so if I feel like that, I feel like, you know, because I want more knowledge. You know, like people might, you know, Puff said something on his Instagram. He's like, you know, I got the house on the beach by the water. He said, not trying to brag. It's just I want it. What do you want?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy? Like, do you think if you say enough that if you want something, that it just shows up in your life? Like,
no,
do you think with
you
these
say
guys,
you want it, it gives you drive. Every day, it's anything you do in life. Like, if you want something, just like me, like, you know, like weight loss, working out, fitness, eating better, I want it. I'm disciplined. I want more knowledge. I want more wisdom. You got to fight for it. You got to go after it. And when I mean go after it, you're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get knocked your ass down. But can you get your ass back up? That's the true test. Embrace the pain. Don't get me wrong. When it comes, it hit. But you know the goal is greater at the end. For the finish line. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know that. You fought hard. You know this is what you love. You know, people, you ever heard that saying, like you always said, man, you always like a family member and somebody was like, man, you still working on that degree? Or you hear a story like, you still doing that? because that person got a passion, and I never understood that. So now I don't really knock people if they doing something for a long period of time. It could be 4 years, but all I'm saying is be dedicated. Stay in the shit. I know it's hard, but it's like when people see you like dedicated to something, man, that's when God opened the windows of heaven. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta you gotta stay faithful, man. Just know this gonna pop. Just as like I come, like I come in and do beats. You gotta understand, for me, being a guy who ran 2 decades or 3, whatever the world say, whoever that got me I put in the work to get this name Timbaland, right? I put in the work. But at the same time, you never think the work, the work you put in, you got to understand they're going to be, you never, as a person who's doing it because you're doing it with blinders on, and you get to a point where you do take the blinders off because you feel like, okay, I put in this work, I gotta breathe, I gotta see. But as you seeing, the world is still moving. There are other people. Like, I never thought that, like, there comes a point where there will be another Timbaland, and that other Timbaland will come in the form of the Mike Wills, all the other guys. They changed the game by putting tags. We came in the game with a sound, with a tag. Everybody, and debate started. Now, I'm like, no, that's called reinventing the wheel, taking everything as they were kids. Like when you hear the 808 mile, that's from radio, hearing from our records, DJing on our songs, all that information when they were 17 and we were 28 producing music. All that shit information was in their head. Oh, I'm gonna be like Timbaland. And when they do that shit, and people say trap drum, no, they made a certain package of drum that just sounds great to the ear, and people just got real great at programming that shit and taking everything and started saying and put the tag in the shit that started sounding the same way I came in the shit, doing the double time, putting the crickets. It's the same shit. It's just called evolution. And so I wasn't prepared, like, for evolution or going, like somebody, and that shit hits you because it's like, oh shit. You don't be prepared. You don't be prepared with something. You don't be prepared for the, like, when you great at something, you don't, and you never been, when the challenge comes, it's like anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I'm talking about from my experience. Me as a person who loves music, who does music, saying one of the greatest producers, when like you hear other producers and you hear another sound, it's like, it's not like it's the end of an era. Kind of like, not that it's what I mean, the end of an era, meaning like your sound is always legendary, right? But it's the end of an era. It's a new chapter where the music, we come from buying records to now we're streaming records. It's an end of an era. Our era come from the era going to stores, but they took record stores away. So people like, oh, Best Buy, Target, oh, that's why I go buy. They took the enjoyment of us going to the Tower Records, which kids don't know today. You know what I'm saying? All these record stores, Birdland Records, buying when the CD come out, getting the package. So that era ended, and now we came from the data era of streaming. So music started to change. So it's like you gotta the machines start getting smarter, start making what machine came out. The MPC started getting better, and you start losing track of the time because I'm stuck in the ASR, but I'm like, yo. So what I've learned through this whole time of like just time of change is like, yo, shit just changes, and you got to know how to change with it. That's like Steve Nash was a great basketball player, but guess what? He's still in basketball, but times have changed. He's the coach now. He's the coach of, I think, Brooklyn, right? So it's like you got to be ready to know how to pivot. You know what I'm saying? And I never, when you do something for so long and you don't pivot, that's like, you know, any career, any guy, that's like if a guy work at it in the government, 25 years, it's hard for him to say, all right, after them 8 years, it's hard for those guys to like, or those people, because you've been with something for 8 years of your life. Now you got to tell them like, we got to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's change is this is like 8 years. Like that's a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying? To pivot is like, it ain't easy for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like a.
Does it change like you? You know
No, it don't change you. It just prepares you for the next chapter of your life. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and you should always have that in everything you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's called hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, but when you do something like, so for me, like this making music, it's like, okay, you got to know how to still make music, but not be the guy that's producing, doing this. Okay, you know what? Let me grab other producers and let me team up with them, but put them in the forefront. They know the generation. They know this. They know that. You know what I'm saying? Just being a guy, just since I was a guy who shined light on people that, you know, making people say, oh man, those beats sound good. I ain't, you know, I felt like I was the first of that to shine light on production. I felt like I told this story before, like when I was in the mall, a girl was like, yo, that beat, just her saying that beat. I didn't hear the other sentence. She said that beat. I never heard nobody say that beat. So I felt like an era, that's when producers became the stars. Because people like, oh man, you need that hot beat. Like it was that beat. The beat stood over sometimes.
Do you think
the artist? It was a point. It was almost.
Do you think it came when artists started calling producer out? Before the producer would call himself out, like Jay would always call you out if he was on a Timbaland beat. You know what I'm saying? And like, do you think it changed because people would call out producers more as time goes? Went on?
No, I just think that the production I think because my sound was so unorthodox
made people pay attention
to beats. And when you hear one in a million, it was like, it was so unorthodox. Ooh, when you hear that beat. But like, you knew Aaliyah, but like, yo, who doing Aaliyah music? Who doing Baby Girl? Yo, it was like, that was like, we didn't have to go preach it. We didn't have to go sell it. It sold itself. What me and Missy were as a duo sold itself. That's how powerful what we brought to music, what we contribute to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it brought conversations among people. So I come from an era like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're a great market of people, but I feel like my product that I always done, like and I think producers are like that. We like low key. We like our work to speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be loud. Oh, I got the dopest beats. I never was kind of like that. Never was. I feel like my music got, you know, that's why I look at it now like it's not the same, you know, what I mean is not the same because we have so much music. We have so much of. Back then it was limited. We didn't have streaming. We didn't have the stuff. We didn't have all what we have today. So that's why music, I feel like, is affected because we have so many ways of hearing it. So much. It's so much easier access for a lot of music now. Back then it wasn't. So great music, at least. You know, and they only showcase the great ones. Not saying there wasn't other great ones being buried underneath. Like now you find a lot of underground indie stuff that's super great. But imagine we had that back then. I don't know. Like, I don't even know producers would probably be that. It might be the same. It could be because it have been so exposed. We probably would have found, I don't know, the taste was different. You know what I'm saying? Taste changed. Now it's all about even me. I just love going through a lot of, I like to consume a lot. I don't like listen to like one album I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hear this, I'm gonna hear this. So even me, like,
There's a lot of difference.
yes, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, I'm a kid all over again. I'm 19, so I get it. So when people play shit up here, I get it. Like I know how to connect, and it's like, I'm like, wow. I said, man, I used to make 8-minute songs. Now you can't even get me to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It's certain the human, how we are programmed and how we can get deprogrammed is amazing to me.
Deprogrammed?
Meaning like deprogrammed to get reprogrammed.
You mean to switch for the change?
It's like how does it love 8 minutes and can't stand 8 minutes? How did that happen? How did I convert to that? It's like it's like a cycle. It's like a window in the earth that it changes, that we just go back. Like, it'd be the simplest stuff, man. We'd be like, look how long it took us to make it to figure out that, golf cart was a car. How long did it take us to figure that shit out? Elon Musk, I say, I can't believe this shit. Why is this not a car? But we didn't have all what we have now to invent this stuff, to do it. The thought could have been there, but I'm just like, nobody took the time out to really dive in. But anyway, all of that and all those stories to say the time away was to focus on not quitting, not giving up, staying on your journey, your path, no matter how long it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mr. Jakes told me, overheard a story that Col Sanders, KFC, didn't franchise until he was 64 years old. So I'm just saying, some people, you can't, you gotta stay on your path, stay on your path. And while we're on this path, the beatbox.
Pull it up. Man.
Let me give y'all a little topic, some gems, some talk. Just shooting the shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's been 4th of July, it's, it's new time, the world is changing. We're about to be, pretty soon it'll be December.
2022 is less than 6 months away.
You gotta think about that, man. Like, the world is moving fast. What are we doing? Focus on your craft, your goals. That's what you live for. You live for to fulfill your purpose. And after your purpose fulfilled, you live life after. Eternal life. With that being said, we're on to this beatbox, baby.
Let's go. Kid Soul, you're up.
Your birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to any birthday people in the house. Shit, if we did that, we missed a lot of birthdays, didn't we? Because somebody's birthday was probably every month. There's a birthday every month, wasn't it?
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Kid Soul, how you feeling, man? Let's go. Let's start with your first beat.
Next one. Now that I'm refreshed, I definitely ain't gonna take it. Play it again.
Let the band deal with this. In my A style. Old school.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
Next up, the Col 88, is that your name?
I like that. What's the next one? He's alright. He's good. How many was that?
That was only 2, but he only sent in 2.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
That was this son of a bitch pulled it off.
He pulled it off. He pulled it off.
Yo, the Col 88.
He was alright. I couldn't front on him. I'd like to hear more though.
Yeah, for sure. The Goodboytroy, you're up next with only 1 beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Give me what I need to get the fuck up out my way. Poisoned by these thoughts. Battle with it every day. Still breathing, and I got a blunt on me, can't complain. My May set on nothing but success. Rolling with the punches. Put myself first and said fuck the rest. I'm a mess, only when I'm blacked out. All this on my sleeve. Sensitive thuggin', no Shaka Zulu though. Really though, about to go Captain Insane. No on all you dirty hoes. Money shot, straight to the third eye. Tell me what you really see. Deja vu, vivid dreams, did some blows. Steady winning, I ain't talking Charlie Sheen. Addicted to the hustle and the money fetish for the green.
I guess it's just a bummer about the Rona. I'm a hippie, bet the corner feeling. If you need a sponsor now, call marijuana, bitch. I should've been a goner. Always fucking wanted like, I'm always fucking wanted like the nigga that cut Pocahontas was the STD, still kill nigga.
He's the first one to say the 1 beat and we say yes to.
Yes!
That's a big deal.
Cause that shit is, that's, now see, that's like a, if people say, oh, that's old school. No, that shit sound
That
like.
sound like Tyler Creator.
It sound like today, like certain old school that'll fit. There's so much from, we say old school, but it's certain bops that just never get tired. And this kind of like one of a bop.
You said that before. You said that.
Because I'm gonna tell you, when Benny the Butcher and all them, when they do that bop, I don't never get tired of it. It's just like it's hard to find it too sometimes. You think you in it, then that shit be something else. You'd be like, oh, that shit is terrible.
Goodboytroy, appreciate you, man. Send us some more music.
Yeah, he was alright.
All right,
He had a
next up,
vibe.
DreadPitt. Let's see.
right now.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make.
What's the next one?
You come into my court looking like you do.
I heard your bitch, she got that
You
wood.
insult the integrity of this court.
Splash.
Let's go. Next up. What's your name, say? Hefe Beats. Let's see what you got.
King Hefe on the beat.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You're gonna keep going because you love it, Hefe Beats.
You love it.
Let's go.
Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Go to the next one, Patrick.
Mikey drums.
Minutes later.
Since you want something like this, we're gonna end it like this. Number one. Eugene.
I'm Eugene.
Eugene. That's
I'm
what you
Eugene.
Eugene. That's what you get. Eugene.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
Let's go. I appreciate you. You're gonna keep going because you love it like he drums. Next up, Jaketcooke.
You come into my court looking like you do.
I heard your bitch, she got that
You
wood.
insult the integrity of this court.
Jaketcooke, that beat, those beats are not it. Keep going. You're gonna keep going because you love it. Laceproductions. I don't think that was gonna be it.
Keep playing. See? You was about to go crazy.
I was.
But you don't know yet, brother. You still trying to get your ear right. See, you want to skip that one. I didn't even see I wanted to skip. That's called season. And I'm on my phone.
stop.
Laceproductions.
See, he did all right. He shut you down.
Yes.
He shut you down, my brother. Shut you down.
Next up, Iconics.
Next one. Come on now.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Subzero on the beat.
Hey, look.
Name's Eugene. Name's Eugene.
Hey.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
Digitalvandalist.
Next one.
Listen to me. You're wrong. And if you don't get it, I feel sorry for you.
Let's go. Next up, Pinkyliberachi.
Next one. So
when you come into my court looking like you do,
I heard your bitch, she got that
you
water.
insult the integrity of this court.
Pinkyliberachi, keep going. If that first beat was your beat, I feel like that was your strongest one.
and you love it.
And you're gonna keep going because you love it. Digitalvandalist, how are you back on here again? personally. I feel
I
like
know.
that beat is way different than the beats you send in it. How are your beats so varied? Like, how do you feel like? I feel like that one actually might not have got played. But no, Digitalvandalist. Keep going. Phantom Element. I don't even know where I would hear that beat.
I was just trying. It was putting me in a trance, like I wanted to play a game or something.
You was getting in a trance. Let's see what more your beats sound like, man. If somebody was like, "Yo,
Wow,
I'm gonna let you."
Listen to me. You're wrong. And if you don't get it, I feel sorry for you.
Hey man, I'm gonna bring you over to Tim's studio later. Somebody said that to you and was like, just bring your hottest beats.
mm-hmm.
Man, the person who invited you would never be allowed back into the studio. Keep going, Phantom Element, because you love it. You got to do this here. I'm Imxgg.
Go sleep a little bit.
Tony Kush 210.
Yeah. Tony Kush. Ella es mi mujer, ella es mi mujer, ya tú vas a ver, ya tú vas a ver. Ella es mi mujer, ella es mi mujer, ya tú vas a ver, ya tú.
Oh,
Bro, that hurt my ears, Tony Kush.
that was bad.
Let's try your next one.
Dale. Kush. Dale. Quiere. Dale. Dale. Todo prendido con Tony. Ojos locos como Marley.
Hey, I don't know if you're producing the beats or also
I
recording.
know,
the
right?
videos,
I'm
Tony
glad
Kush.
you speak up. Speak up. Go ahead.
Bruh,
man.
I don't know if
the
you're making.
business.
I don't know if you're making the beats and making the vocals, but maybe you send it without the vocals because the vocals you're sending don't make the beat sound better. But, you know, I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna leave it there. You're gonna keep going because you love it.
Listen to me. You're wrong. And if you don't get it, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. X_Ridoid_. 3 says these sounds are not going together. Everything is too loud in the mix.
Have that person heard ASAP Rocky? Have you heard ASAP Rocky? I heard ASAP Ferg. Have you heard this anybody of today's generation that raps
over beats like that? Right?
Exactly.
Right. That's what they
sound
like.
So maybe if you go do some research, my brother.
What sister? Can't tell.
Don't know. Yes, you will understand.
Yes.
Next one. Or push your team.
But the first two vibes, I think.
First two vibes. So sit them on the bench. Put them on the
sitting on the bench.
Let's go, X-Ridoy X.
But I did like the first two.
Appreciate you. Next up, Jungomadeit.
Jungo.
Jungle on the keys, bitch.
Alright, what's next one? Yeah, I know. Put him up there.
The son of a bitch pulled it off. Yes.
Jungomadeit, man, send me some more beats. Somebody said so simple, but okay.
So simple. That's what we want.
That's a hard piano. This hard flute joint always hitting. I say that. You know, go ahead, man. Jungomadeit. Send in more. No_.
What was that?
Let's try No Venom's second beat.
That was hard. Play another one.
1, 2.
I like his vibe though. I
Sitting
want
on
to
the
hear more.
bench.
I want to hear more. I like that second one the most though.
Yeah. No Venom, keep going. You're gonna keep going because you love it. Next up, Skundo_Pete. Second one was it. I don't think the first one was it. I don't think the third one was gonna be it, but we're gonna play it.
Skundo P.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Let's go. Phantom Element, your beats are in here duplicated. No, thank you. TKO Beats. I was so sleepy.
Sure was.
These beats sound old, man.
You know what to do. Go sleep.
Iammaro, you're up
What was that?
next week.
You come into my court looking like you do.
I heard your bitch, she got that
You
wood.
insult the integrity of this court.
Splash.
Bignarleybeats. That's a noise song. Yo, Bignarleybeats. Keep going, my friend.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
Next up, Sue.
Yes.
Well, it's hard. Go to the next one.
Let's see. Sue. Sending in hot beats, third one. Just to see.
Did we hear this?
I heard that beat before.
We sure did.
That beat, it don't sound like this.
You son of a...
They took the same sample.
Yeah, the same sample.
Yeah.
Let's go. Next up, Aladdinproducer.
It wasn't bad.
See like an Aladdin like movie playing because it was like Aladdin. Her work ethic was light story.
Play another one.
Court looking like you do.
It wasn't bad. So I think
sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Sitting on the bench, Aladdinproducer. Keep going, man. Because you love it. Next up, Iammanuelgaray.
I don't know about that. That one either.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You're gonna keep going because you love it. Ray Jaruba, your beats are in the queue, but when we first found your beats, we actually played all your beats. So we've heard these before. We're gonna keep going. Prodbychrislait.
Chris later.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
Keynotedapro. These beats are real sneaky. I feel like you may be still just starting, and that's okay. But
Listen to me. You're wrong. And if you don't get it, I feel sorry for you.
you're gonna keep going because you love it. Next up, Itsmedavinci.
She do it all for them dollars. Grind hard, she in college. Your man doesn't acknowledge. Other niggas pay you in homage.
Yo, another situation where the vocals don't help the beat. Try the next one.
All my niggas, yeah, they represent.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Prasson.
Hold on, boy. Boy, keep going.
That is all that person sent in, Tim.
Get out of here.
Yo.
You come into my court looking like you do.
I heard your bitch, she got that
You
wood.
insult the integrity of this court.
Yo, so NovaCage222 got a question. He said, Tim, did anybody ever tell you no because of your unique style? If so,
Oh, yeah.
did that alter the way you made beats?
No. I just kept going, kept the blinders on.
So how do you know when
The people let me know
what?
when my stuff was great.
Let's go.
People told the haters, you're wrong. He's good. He's better than good. He's great.
Yes.
808 Drilly.
Second beat. Yep.
Keep going because you love it. Next up, Kazzbeats.
You love it.
Beats. Oh, I don't think that's it, bro. Keep going.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
Beatclub.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Brandon Marsalis, you're up next. Try another one.
It's all right.
Brandon Marsalis. I don't know about that third one, Brandon Marsalis. Keep going, my friend. Gmpbeats.
No. You come into my court looking like you do.
I heard your bitch, she got that
You insult the integrity of this court.
Who else we gonna tag in? Somebody from Louisiana. What's his name? I see him right there. Somebody from Louisiana. He could be dope.
Let's see. Yeah, I see. Rimixbyricomusiq. Oh no. Hey, listen.
Sure.
You come into my court looking like you do.
I heard your bitch, she got that
You insult the integrity of this court.
Splash.
Man, Slave Be the Way says, yo, to all who want to be played, man, if you ain't that hot, just wait, because you're going to have to wait until he plays you again. Damn right, bro. Frankdownnorth.
Down North?
Yeah.
You got any more?
He hot.
That's all like.
That sound like some James Bond, bro. Right down north, third beat.
Outside shit,
That's
baby.
hard right there.
Like, it should have changed there again, though. Now I feel like
He hard. I like. Frank Down North always been dope.
always.
Son of a bitch, pull it off.
Right down north, y'all. Make sure y'all show some love. You can chat right now. What up, man? Listen, I'm telling you. He always sends in great stuff. Show the world media says, hey, this ain't it playing. Don't say that. Frank down north got it. That second one may not have had it,
No, the second one wasn't it.
but that first and third one was good, Frank. Appreciate you, man. Keep going.
Yes.
Damn, 33K. Next beat, James. I don't know. This beat sound kind of. Oh, man.
Next one.
That's all that person sent in.
All right, that was just mediocre.
When you come into my court looking like you do,
I heard your bitch, she got that
you insult the integrity of this court.
I think tonight was a good night on my back home. I got like three people.
Yeah.
We see you tomorrow. We out.